Learn English through stories. U31 Answers PDF. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents. Vocabulary. 9 tasks. Answers. I use the word given in capitals to form a word that fits in the space. Sir Clive Sinclair. Born in 1940, UK businessman Sir Clive Sinclair has an enduring place in the minds of British people for 2 reasons. First, he was the man who revolutionized home computing with the ZX series of computers. And secondly, he was the man whose alternative to the car, the C5, failed spectacularly to capture the public imagination. Sinclair's products, the DZ81 and its successful replacement, the ZX Spectrum, were small, affordable computers that sold in huge numbers in the early 1980s. Despite limited capabilities, they allowed people to play computer games in their own home for the first time, and even introduced people to the word processor. The C5, a one-person vehicle that ran on electricity, was produced in 1984 and was Sinclair's attempt to modernize transport. However, it was persistently criticized in the press for being unsafe and impractical in the British climate, and production of the C5 was discontinued in August 1985. B. Circle the correct word or phrase. 1. When I saw Marty, he was chatting to someone outside the bank. 2. Jason wasn't interested in the film because he had already seen it. 3. I was shocked because it was the first time I had heard Alec use such bad language. 4. In his younger days, my grandfather used to be a pretty good tennis player. 5. I was really pleased when my little brother was born. 6. Tim was always getting into fights at school when he was a kid. 7. The dog had been playing in the mud, so he was absolutely filthy. 8. A week into our camping holiday, we were used to cooking in the open air. C. Complete the second sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence, using the word given. Do not change the word given. You must use between 3 and 8 words, including the word given. 1. Don't you think we should decorate the living room soon? Isn't it about time we did up the living room? 2. Why should I offer you advice if you won't listen? What's the use of me offering you advice if you won't listen? 3. Being in prison seems to have changed Kevin's behavior for the better. Kevin has turned over a new leaf since he got out of prison. 4. Don't complain about it to me because it won't make any difference. It's no good complaining to me about it because it won't make any difference. 5. You only have a short time to do this work, so don't waste time. You are working against the clock, so don't waste time. 6. When her dream of meeting Kylie came true after so long, Carol couldn't believe it. Carol couldn't believe it when her dream of meeting Kylie became a reality after so long. 7. I often think that Sean is actually his twin brother Michael. I often mix Sean up with his twin brother Michael. 8. Would you like to do what the Prime Minister does? Would you like to swap places with the Prime Minister? Or, would you like to trade places with the Prime Minister? He write one word in each gap. 1. Johnson was in the lead until the final bend, where he fell off his bike. 2. I'm afraid our conference room is in use at the moment, but I'll call you when it's free. 3. The internet provides access to an incredible amount of information. 4. Dr. Fisher told us that Granddad's health had changed for the better, so we could see him. 5. The manager announced that the meeting had been postponed and would be held at a later date. 6. Don't believe everything you read on the web. 7. I don't think Nikki would have hurt your feelings on purpose. 8. The champion has been on very good form recently, so he should win this match. Or, the champion has been in very good form recently, so he should win this match. E. Choose the correct answer. 1. When Josh phoned, he sounded like he had had quite a shock. 2. Just as you arrived, I was getting ready to go out. 3. The computer has had an enormous influence on the way we work. 4. It might sound strange, but dinner yesterday was the first time I had eaten octopus. 5. Make sure you back up the data on your computer because you might get a virus. 6. The minister was accused of distorting the truth. 7. That new painting looks a bit out of place in our living room, don't you think? 8. I woke up late for my interview because I'd been worrying about it all night and didn't get much sleep. F. Choose the correct answer. 1. Although she would have preferred to carry on working, my mum sacrificed her career in order to have children. 2. I find the offer quite tempting, but I think I'd rather study at Oxford. 3. I don't normally like noisy clubs, but I had a sudden impulse to see what the Blue Parrot was like. 4. Jerry loves snowboarding so much that it's almost like a drug addiction. 5. I don't want to do the course in applied statistics, but it's compulsory. 6. Don't worry about me, I'm quite content to sit here and wait for you to come back. 7. When I was pregnant, I often got a sudden craving for tinned sardines. 8. Thank you for thinking of us, but I'm afraid we're going to have to decline your kind invitation. 9. I've never seen anyone so dedicated to their job as Philip is. 10. Why do you have such a fascination with model railways? 11. I wish you would stop wasting so much time on computer games and do something a little more worthwhile. 12. Olivia has always yearned to return to the country she was born in. G. Complete using the correct form of the words in the box. 1. Tricia suggested going to Indonesia, but the idea didn't really appeal to me. 2. Young children seem to delight in showing things they've made at school to their parents. 3. Francis obviously adores his 3 children and will do anything for them. 4. I think I just fancy getting a DVD and staying in tonight. 5. The firefighters praised Mrs. Collins for her quick thinking when the fire broke out. 6. We would urge anyone who values personal freedom to vote against this proposal. 7. The Prime Minister welcomed the suggestion from the leader of the opposition and said that the government would consider it carefully. 8. I don't know how Liz can bear to work at that place. 9. It's important to have clear goals to strive towards. 10. Parents should try to treat all their children equally and not favor one over another. 11. It's quite easy to differentiate between margarine and butter because butter has a creamier taste. 12. The board of directors has resolved to increase sales by at least 20% over the coming year. H. Choose the correct answer. 1. His first novel was just a flash in the pan. 2. I think Philip has taken a shine to his new babysitter. 3. I hope you have a good trip and come home safe and sound. 4. Oh dear. I think I've put my foot in it. 5. Kate is really noisy, but her best friend is as quiet as a mouse. I look at these newspaper headlines. Each one has an idiom based on a part of the human body. What do you think they mean? Choose the correct answer. 1. A university asks the minister for financial help. 2. An airline will pay the costs. 3. Rita Soares is loved by everyone in Hollywood. 4. The government is refusing to face a difficult situation.